Hey guys, what's up? Dingo Crikey here with another figure review. This time we're going to be looking at Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Class Stratosphere. This figure was originally released in May of 2009 in the Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Wave 4 for the price of $22.99. And this review was suggested by user HaloTK423. So we can see Stratosphere is not alone here, as we have this little minifigure, which is Optimus Prime, of course. We'll be moving that to the side as we'll look at it a little bit later. For now, let's take a closer look at Stratosphere himself. There we have him from the front, the side, the back, the other side. There he is from the bottom. And there he is from the top. As for colors on this guy, we have a pretty realistic color scheme with a few, I guess you could say, toyish accents to lighten it up. Main color, of course, is this light, shiny gray color. We then also have a darker gray used on these turbines here. It's also present on this little hinge here. You can see it on the bottom a little bit. Also, we have some weirdly placed dark purplish blue, some orange on the thrusters as well, and you can see there's a little bit of a fade into the gray, which is kind of cool. We have a translucent blue up here, and then we have bits of black on the front, and on these fins in the back as well, and on the edges of the wings. And on this top, we have this slightly brownish silvery color, which is pretty interesting. As far as details go, already mentioned, we have a sort of a color fade there. Also, we have some text there. Not really sure what the significance of that is. This guy has a whole bunch of Autobot symbols. You can see he has symbols here and on these tail fins as well. Also, he has landing gear details detailed down here, and if flip these little flaps up, he has even more wheels. As we'll see, only one of them is functional. Nevertheless, a kind of cool detail. Also, we do have the tips of the wings bending upward at the very end, which is kind of cool. You can see he has propellers detailed in there. They don't spin or anything. Nevertheless, and I think that really sums it up for details. As far as kibble or bad bits, I really don't think he has many in this mode. Of course, you have some screws, some cracking going on, but you get that with really any Transformers figure, and especially from the top, really doesn't look all that bad in my opinion. It fits with the look pretty well. I mean, other than that, maybe some people wouldn't like the blue on here or the orange on the propellers. Feel like it takes away a little bit from the realistic look, but I really feel like anything else is nitpicking in regards to this mode. As far as the feel, he is very durable in this mode, really won't have problems with much coming out of place. He does surprisingly have a pretty light feel for a Voyager class figure. As far as accessories or additional features, the first one we'll go over is the landing gear. As mentioned, these wheels do not roll, but we do have this one in the back, and we have this little bit of landing gear up in the front. Despite how close the plane looks to the ground, when you roll this thing, it actually rolls pretty well for a jet transformer. Now, if you've researched this figure prior to seeing this review, you may know about the infamous space shuttle that was supposed to connect to this port here and wasn't included in the final versions of the figure. I read that was due to price issues, but what we do have, of course, is this little Optimus figure, as this was still included. I'll give you guys a close-up look at this. Not a whole lot to see. I mean, it has enough detail to look like Optimus. You got the fire on the front of the truck, whole lot of blue, a little bit of red, and it's really all there is to say about it in this truck mode. And as far as its function, what we can do here is put Optimus to the side for right now. If you push these fins upward, this cargo bay will open quite nicely. Now what you can do is take Optimus and just plug him in there. What I find is best, before you close it, bring it upward just a little bit so it's flat, then push it shut, and Optimus will store in there quite nicely. When you want to open it, set Stratosphere down, and bring the fins back, and Optimus can sort of roll out. So it's a cool feature if you want to mimic the Revenge of the Fallen Shanghai scene. Here we have Stratosphere with two other Revenge of the Fallen figures, Voyager Class Starscream and Deluxe Class Breakaway. Here he is with two Combiner Wars figures, Voyager Class Silverbolt and Deluxe Class Firefly. And here we have him with two figures from the other film's toy lines, Voyager Class Skyhammer from Dark of the Moon and Leader Class Optimus from the movie 2007 toy line. As for Stratosphere's transformation, the first thing you want to do is make sure you have the little Optimus ejected, because the cargo bay cannot hold Optimus while he's in robot mode. So with that aside, the first thing you want to do is grip this piece in the middle. You kind of want to wiggle it back and forth to get it free on both sides from these pegs here, and now you can bring it down. We're going to want to bring up these wings. Then you see his arms here. You want to pull them out of position, and as that happens, these components on the body will just flip forward nicely. A kind of cool feature. Then you want to take this orange piece at the bottom with the landing gear, push on it, and there you have Stratosphere's head. So the upper portion of the torso is done. What we're going to want to do here is you want to grip this gray piece, not this whole part of the legs, and grip the back piece, and we're going to pull this piece away from what will become the rest of his legs. And take note that you do have to use a good amount of force to get it to pop out. See, there we go. And there we go. And one thing I want to make note of, when you're, I'm not going to show how to transform him back into his cargo plane mode, but I found a good way to do that is if you want to get these legs back down, it's you also have to use a ton of force in doing that. So maybe doing something like this and pushing up against this top part of his leg into the foot, this gray piece, seems to be more effective. As you can see, kind of just straightening out the legs here into whatever position you want. Kind of like to have them at a little bit of an angle, as you can see there. And straighten out this waist and finally get it pegged in here so it's not flopping around anymore. And there we have Stratosphere in his robot mode. So let's bring him in for a closer look. There you can see his feet, legs, has some cool details there. And there's a close-up look at his head sculpt, quite interesting one. As far as colors go, it's pretty similar to what he had in vehicle mode. Have a lot of this light gray, but we do have a lot more of this reddish orange this time, as it's the main color for his arms. We got dark gray in there, some black there as well. But we now have this addition of this sort of dull tan color, which is on the upper legs and the shoulders here. As far as details go, you can see we kind of have that chest area opened up there. We also have those orange pipe detailed in the waist. Also, we have those black pistons or something in the leg. A lot of your typical movie details if you look at the lower leg. Just something interesting you do have in the arm here. Not only do you just have a good amount of molded details, but what we also have is this feature. We move his elbow at the lower joint. You can see those blue gears in there, which are kind of a cool detail in themselves. Do move a little bit, and same with the upper gears as well. If you move the upper joint, you can also get some motion in those upper gears. There's another look at his head sculpt. You can see the way it's painted and detailed. There's a look from at the side. His neck also has details. As far as kibble and or bad bits in this mode, not as clean as it is in the vehicle mode. As you can see, he has this huge back area where basically the body of the vehicle along with the rear is just all crammed. Then we have these boat-like feet. These might not be considered kibble, but they'd probably be a negative for a lot of people, as even though they function pretty well, they do look pretty awkward, and some people may consider them to be like a side effect of his vehicle mode and maybe not having a complex enough transformation. As far as articulation goes, we have this upper leg on a hinge and a swivel, so we can bring it back and forth, can bring it out, and we can also turn it all of the way around. Then what we also have here is some swivel at this point in the upper leg, and you can see I'm having quite a hard time even turning this, and it can go all of the way around. I personally don't like using this articulation because I always feel like this piece in here is kind of getting grinded down. At the knee, you can bring it just about that far forward and that far back. You also have the joint down here. Comes forward at a 90-degree angle, and backwards it can fold all of the way in. No articulation in the waist. As far as the arms go, go all the way around here. Once again, we have a hinge and a swivel, so, whole bunch of articulation there. Also at the shoulder, you have this secondary point of rotation. The elbows are double jointed. They can't go back at all, but bring the lower joint forward. Then at the upper joint, also bring it pretty far forward. Then at the hands, he also has some articulation. No wrist swivel, but they can sway back and forth. The thumb, you can bring it out like so, and Bring the fingers down like that. Then at the head, we can't go all of the way around because of the way it's constructed here, but we still do have a pretty good range of motion. I would say this guy has a pretty light feel for a Voyager class figure. Now he's not flimsy, just a very light feel. As you can see, he's just a pretty thin and lanky looking figure. Even some of the bulk he has back here, it's just kind of flat pieces all stacked together. With that said, nothing on this guy's really loose except maybe the fin back there, but he does feel fairly durable. I will point out that I personally do not like the feel of this beige colored plastic. It kind of depends on if you've heard the term. I might define as like potato chip plastic. It just feels pretty brittle, especially when you're rotating this upper leg here. Other than that though, he's light, but he feels pretty durable. As far as other features and accessories, already went over the moving gears in the arms, so we'll look at this mini Optimus figure. In Stratosphere's robot mode, in neither truck mode or robot mode, this guy has any functions, but let's show him in robot mode anyways. First thing you want to do is just bring down these legs here, get our fingernail on that little piece on the end, and just flip out Optimus's feet, bring these arms forward, and get your finger back there. It's kind of tight, so it's a little bit hard to get the head out, but not too bad. And there we have Optimus in his robot mode. So not a whole lot to say about this guy. As with the vehicle mode, just enough detail to get across the fact he's Optimus. Not a whole lot of articulation in the legs. Move them back and forward a bit. The arms, the elbows, they do move. As mentioned, he has no functions with Stratosphere's robot mode, so you can just stand him up beside Stratosphere, and I guess for the robot mode, it's just there to help give us a sense of scale of how big Stratosphere is actually supposed to be in comparison to Optimus. Here's Stratosphere with some other Revenge of the Fallen figures. From left to right, we have Scout Class Dirt Boss, Voyager Class The Fallen, Hunt for the Decepticons Voyager Class Battle Blades Optimus Prime, and Deluxe Class Breakaway. Here he is with Combiner Wars Voyager Class Silverbolt and Deluxe Class Firefly. And here's a lineup of Stratosphere with sort of random figures from various lines. From left to right, we have Thrilling 30 Voyager Class Springer, Classics Voyager Class Optimus, Prime Beast Hunters Voyager Class Cryofire, and Cybertron Deluxe Class Blur. So final thoughts, as for my personal opinions, with Revenge of the Fallen, we had a lot of unconventional designs. Some of them, such as Demolisher, maybe didn't turn out so great, except for in vehicle mode. Others, such as Mixmaster and Breakaway, in my opinion, were really, really cool figures. This guy's sort of in the middle for me. I mean, he's unique, he does have his own look, yet it isn't too unconventional that he doesn't fit in with the rest of the figures. He has arms, legs, all that kind of stuff, and he still functions pretty well, has a good amount of articulation, really good vehicle mode, and, decent robot mode. Namely, I don't like the feet. I honestly would be curious to see if the feet were fixed, would my opinions be totally positive of this figure. The back kibble doesn't bother me personally a whole lot, especially from the front. I think it adds to his aesthetic. Another thing that kind of throws me off about this guy is the color scheme. For the longest time, I couldn't decide whether I like it or not, and I think it works great in the alternate mode. In the robot mode, I kind of wish they would have just maybe went for a more realistic color scheme and took out some of the beige and some of the bright red. And he also has the cool feature with the mini Optimus figure, which is a whole lot of fun. Has a lot of nice detailing. So as far as recommendations go, if this guy were just out at retail for $22.99, I would say, he's not at the top of my recommended list. Get guys like Starscream before him, but maybe get him before Ironhide. He's just kind of in the middle there. However, at the time of this recording, to get this guy new in box on eBay, I'm seeing him priced at $70 and up, maybe even up to $120. Maybe that's because this guy was rare, and maybe the general consensus likes this figure much more than I do. In any case, my personal recommendations would be, this guy probably isn't worth the money. Now, if you're just really into unique Transformers, maybe you're kind of sick of a lot of the monotony we get with the Combiner Wars line, then this guy probably would be a great one to add to your collection. And if you like the looks of him, kind of take what I said about the feeling kind of light into consideration. If you have the money on hand, I don't think you would be disappointed. He is a pretty crazily unique Transformer. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this figure review. Hope you guys found this review insightful. If you did, you can like the video, drop off your thoughts in the comment section below, along with sharing your thoughts through this video's poll. You can keep up with the channel for regular figure reviews, and you can keep up with the channel for regular Transformers commentary videos, along with my Twitter page for more regular updates. Anyways, that's all I have to say for now. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and have a good one, guys. I'll see you soon.